Hey everybody, Joe Misfit Glenn here. Let's see who we got in here so far. What's up, Luke? Hope you're having a good night, bro. Ugh. Give it a few minutes, man. We'll let some people come up on in. We'll see how she goes. Yeah, no shit. Uh, who else we got up in here? Y'all bring some questions for me. What's up, Facebook user? You throw your name in there, I'll be able to respond to you by name. You got to give StreamYard permission to see your name or show your name. If you page down just a little bit, Jody. I'm high as fuck, if you can't tell. It threw me off. Shoot. All right, we got 5 people. Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that. I don't know what's going on with that. What's up, Prez? Hey, Prez, Facebook user said that they trying to put their name in there, won't take his password or her password. I don't know what that's. Something's wrong with StreamYard, Dina. What's up, Jeremy? Facebook user, what do you want to talk about? Give me a question. Let's see if I can answer it correctly. If I can't, I will look it up for you immediately. This is all about questions and answers, guys. You ask me a question, we try to get after it. If you have some tips and tricks you'd like to share, I'd appreciate that. We could talk about it. I'm always into learning some new stuff. What's up, Bryant? Welcome, my man. Thank you for showing up. So what y'all got? And let's try to keep it somewhat near the beginning stages so everybody can follow along. Yeah? I know some of you crazy growers out there really know your stuff. Bugs. Okay. You know what, man? I was literally just looking at this book right here while I was waiting to come live. In here, this is mainly about like outdoor growing or bugs on your plant. And so we can absolutely get into that. It legitimately shows you the problem with the leaf, the bug that causes it, the names and all that stuff, and how to prevent them. Pretty bitching. If you have a bug in mind. But the defenses, it also has a section in here with predatory bugs that you can actually buy and put into your garden, which I thought was a pretty slick little idea. What's up, Dirk? Welcome. Bro science. The only bro science that comes to mind right now that is definitively bro science, because I don't believe that we've worked enough with cannabis plants. I don't believe we've been allowed to work with cannabis plants enough to really debunk all that stuff. I believe that we're coming up with new ways to do things and people are calling it bro science. But the one thing that I did notice that it did not change anything for me was the 48 hours of darkness before flower. That didn't change anything. As a matter of fact, my plants flowered quicker if I just switched them to 12. So that's one. If you guys got anything you want me to touch on, man, let me know and tell you what I think about it. I don't know it all, I promise. But predatory bugs. We'll start with that until we get another question. Oh, come on. There we go. So anyway, it talks about ladybugs, of course, and then all the different larva sizes and stages, right? The way they look on your plant, which is important because I'd have killed every other thing if it wasn't the ladybug up top. I'd have killed everything else. So it's really good to know the stages. This little wasp I wanted to read into. It looks like that. It kills whiteflies, which is really big. I ain't even trying to say that name. Nope. Aphitis milenus. Let's try to get it up here. Phyllis milenus or milenus. Anyway, I'd get some of them. RO water. Hell yeah. The book right here is this. What's wrong with my marijuana plant? Amazon all day. You can get, this is a kick-ass book right here. You can see all my little labels, man. I always refer to things. The most out of your lighting was this one. Environmental controls, all this stuff. This is a really good book. It says $40 on it. I know that's a little expensive for most people, but it's worth it. This one, Marijuana Horticulture, Indoor Outdoor Medical, right, by George Cervantes. Pretty good book. Got a lot of colors. I swear I'm not a Marine, but anyway. And then this one is a really good book, backed by Native Veteran. He loves the soil recipes in here, and it just teaches you how to do all organic. Okay, so let's see. Okay, soil temps. All right, give me 1 sec, Luke. I want to get with Dirk. Okay, RO water. So when I was growing professionally for those 2 years, I used an RO water system. They work great, but they take everything out of it, which isn't a terrible thing because you know exactly what's in your water. It's completely pure. But around here, where I'm at, my water is really bad. And so the membranes and all the different filters really cost me a lot of money. So I didn't use it for that reason. Then I started hearing about like well waters and rain waters and tap waters. As long as you aerate them to get all the chlorine out, they had other chemicals like CalMag and other things that these plants can use. But they have other bad things too. So RO water would absolutely take any of the bad out, but you have to know what to put back in it to make it work. But RO water is awesome. It's pure. And you can't go wrong with it, I promise, except for the fact that it won't have any of the nutrients that are readily available in other waters. Did that help, Dirk? Or did you need a specific? I don't really know how else to put that. I did aerate my RO water, which was a good thing, even though there was nothing in it. I just kept it oxygenated. Plants seem to love it. What's up, Na? Welcome. Dirk, did I answer everything for you, or you got some more specifics on that? No. Nope. It sure doesn't, Bryant. RO water does not bring the pH to neutral, not that I had found. Okay. I'll get right with that in a sec, Jeremy. You know what? Also, some other folks, if you guys got some input on any of these questions, I want to throw this one up, Luke. So soil temperatures, different stages. It's necessarily not something that I really paid attention to unless it was too hot. If my temps were too hot and my soil stayed like 80 and above, I didn't want that. Like right now, I'm looking over at mine. It says 72 degrees at the pot. So I know my soil is right around there. But up top, it says 77, which is at where the canopy would be, right? And so I always keep my temperatures for the soil below what's up top. I think there was 7 degrees there, 7 to 10. But you want to keep your soil around 70 anyway. I hear it matters, but I could be wrong on that one. I can't necessarily put that 100% on that, okay? All right. To combat CalMag, I can't answer that question, Dirk. I couldn't tell you that, my man. I don't know what I would add to my water to combat calcium and magnesium. I feel you. I feel you on that. I don't necessarily see anything wrong with the calcium and magnesium as long as there's no other harmful things in there, like, you know, the chlorines and all that stuff that's going to kill all your microbiomes and stuff. But no, I'm really not that good on that kind of question at this moment, man. All right, let's go check out Jeremy's question. How heavy do you go on defoliation? Do you do it throughout the grow or stick to specific times? Do you let your water get room temperature before watering, or does it make a difference as long as it's not extreme highs or lows? Okay. Some people I'm gonna start with the last bit I read with the water temperatures and stuff. I will take it right out of my shop, which I assume the water's right around 70 degrees. Reason being is because the water line runs up over the ceiling. And so I keep my water, it's generally pretty warm. I've watered them with cold water. I've heard people watering their plants in flour with cold and ice. They even put ice in there and let it water, brings out the colors. But I haven't seen any detrimental causes for the temperatures being a little bit cool or a little bit warmer. But yeah, like you said, the extreme highs or lows, I'm sure would affect it. Absolutely. I mean, I know with the ice in the soil, it does affect the colors. Okay. And then defoliation. I usually don't defoliate until they're at least a month old and they're getting thick, you know. My main thought is breathing, okay? If I have a cover over my mouth, it's harder to breathe. And so if I remove a couple of fingers, now I can breathe, right? I know that sounds a little silly, but that's how I go about it. What's up, Nikki? As long as I can see a little bit through the plant, I don't want it to be the big old block of just green. And so I'll defoliate a couple of key big feeder leaves right in the beginning. Usually the big ones, if you take just 4 or 6 of them off, it usually opens up the plant for another month. And then if you have a really tight cola, you may have to defoliate once a week. I know with that lemon breeze, I've had to defoliate dang near once a week, if not twice. So defoliating a bunch though, like if you had to take 50 leaves off your plant, man, that's going to be a little bit of a stress on the plant. I'd go 25, right? Try to always go half if it's going to be a big amount. I've seen people strip their plants right down. But I've also tasted that bud and it wasn't worth the damn. I don't know if that was why, but I try to keep those leaves on there. They're there for a reason for the most part until about 2 weeks before harvest. And then that's when I start my taking off a good amount off the stalks. And then I'll come back the next week and then I'll take the rest off the stalk. And then I'll give it a week to heal and then go back to bud production. And then she goes into the 48 hours of darkness before harvest, which that little bit of bro science was proven to be beneficial to me through testing and a lot of money. Okay. What I meant to say is I use RO water and I always have, okay, let me get rid of this real quick. Let me go back. Okay, what I meant to say, and I always have CalMag problem. I heard RO water strips Cal. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so that's absolutely correct. So RO water, all those, there's like 2 membrane filters and then there's like 3 other filters in there, right? I don't know all the names of them, but they strip literally everything out of that water. When you check your parts per million or your EC with your meters, it's 0 straight up. That means there's nothing in there, dude. So yeah, you would naturally have to add CalMag more because it's not that. Oh, it's been stripped out of the water, bro. Yeah, absolutely. You're on it. Okay, so Jeremy's topping. Yes. I top usually 3 times, man. Um, so like after I usually wait till like maybe the 6th or 7th note, but they used to top at the 5th note. But now I had so many plants, man, I usually get to it about the 6th or 7th. I'll top that first one. And then after it splits like this comes out and I get 5 or 6 more nodes there, I'll top that one more time. So 3 tops for me maximum. I have topped one like I know it was better than 100 times. And what a pain in the ass to trim. Just saying. That was what I took off that, bro. But yeah, topping will dang sure increase your yield or at least the amount of buds. Yeah, and then just take off those fan leaves as needed, or the fan leaves as needed, man. That's what I do too, until flower time comes, and then I really get after it because I don't want to trim all that shit later. Sarnpur, I don't recommend any of that stuff because I don't know it, man. I don't know any of that stuff. I literally use Fox Farms Ocean Forest, and that is it. Other people amend it with other things. I use just the straight Fox Farm soil, and all I've been using it is once. I have used it up to 3 times, but it's a real pain in the butt for me to clean all the roots out of it. So I can't really comment on the soil thing, my man. Sorry. Yeah, I mean, so I think Bryant, for your question about defoliating, making more leaves, I think that it gives the smaller leaves an opportunity to grow. All right, the bigger leaves are taking up all the energy and all the lighting, so those small leaves don't have to grow. And this is literally just my opinion of what I see happen. As soon as you remove some of those larger leaves, you can see all the smaller bud sites get a bunch more leaves. And if there's not a big old leaf covering a bud, all these leaves are getting all that stuff and able to work and absorb all that energy themselves right to the bud, right? So that's what so femming, I'm not a fan of it myself. However, I did do that femming video, and that section that femmed had like 4 or 5 node sites, whereas my top only had 2. So you can get more. It just looked all crazy for me. I just wasn't used to it. I'll try it again though. All right, so I hope I squared you away on that one, man. Right. What's up, Aaron? Keep the tops as clones. Yeah, so Aaron, I never use this. You said, because this is a good thing. I've heard this before. Matter of fact, I heard a grower say that's all he uses was the tops. And he has 100% success, he said. And so I always was taught in the beginning, I didn't even have a mentor. I learned all on my own, reading books and, Googling it. But I was always taught that the lower portion of the plant has the rooting hormone in it. I believe the whole plant has the rooting hormone, but the lower has the most of it. And so that's why I went with the lower leaves. But I have heard this too about the tops. And they're real limber and tender. And so I assume they would root really easily. Good looking out, Aaron, on it. Ah, yes. The Arrow Cloner. That's what I use. It's a Clone King. I have 2 of them. It's a Clone King 36 site. That is the machine that brought me to my 100% success. Although this last cloning experience with 10 plants, I got 1. So anything can happen if your water temperatures get too warm. Remember that. But I love the Arrow Cloners, man. Ocean Forest, yeah, all day, Nikki. Mm-hmm. No, not usually, but some plants, like I was saying, that lemon breeze, Bryant, that lemon breeze really wants to throw out the leaves. I like to call her a hairy girl, but she's going to have some beautiful colas, I have no doubt. It does make for a really cool cola. It's got to trim up nice and tight. So it doesn't look all wild. Okay. ProMix. Here we go. Somebody's throwing out some soil. ProMix HP with worm castings. All right. Lucky in that Ash over. Oh, Ash helping you out, Lucky. That's what's up, Jeremy. So what's everybody doing tonight, man? Just chilling? Anybody got anything special to talk about besides growing? Anything? Y'all have a spectacular day? What? I just see a screen, man. I don't get to hear nobody talking. Ooh, all right. It's always a fun experience. Hey, Jeremy, if you ever want to come on, man, and teach us how to make it, we can share the information with the folks. Nice. Defoliation, man. It's always a pain in the back for me. Ah, Luke's hitting that Sherlock. What's up, Prez?
What's going on?
Not much.
Figure out hop on for shits and giggles.
I appreciate it, man. Yeah, it's always nice to look at another face, man. You know what I mean?
So what subject are we on right now?
Oh, nothing. I was just asking for more questions, man. But I can get back to those predatory bugs, which was the beginning one. I was literally looking through my book and just remembered right where it was. They have all kinds of cool bugs, man, that you can go get. Order them right online. They send them to you. You hatch them and put them out in your garden.
There's also a list of flowers and herbs that you can plant, companion plant within your garden.
Accurate.
That'll attract those predatory bugs.
Yep.
I'll post up a list of it in the next couple of days. For instance, like marigolds, awesome pest deterrent for like aphids and thrips and shit like that.
Yeah, and they were talking about some of those predatory bugs in there too for the thrips. And yes, and that's what I like about the marigolds and all the basil too, right? Basil,
yep.
All those things they detract from your plant and take them over to that, right?
Mm-hmm. The same thing as like lemongrass. Like if you're trying to keep a water cistern or anything like that for your garden, put some lemongrass, fresh lemongrass on top of the water will also deter from mosquitoes landing in it and laying eggs.
Hell yeah. My mom grows lemongrass. I can get that stuff. I can get cuttings anytime. Let me see. What's up, Chris? Welcome, my man. Hope everything's okay. Yeah, Aaron. I mean, I don't have it like that, bro. I'm glad I don't have no 3-5 gallon buckets of leaves every day or every week.
That's a lot.
Yeah, that's work.
Yeah, Na just said that lemongrass also helps keep snakes away too.
Oh, really? That's what's
I know about that.
I didn't know that either.
Also, if you're growing outside, that is true. Peppermint, spearmint is good for rodents like moles and things along that nature. They don't like the smell of it.
Right.
Even just putting like a milkweed plant in the corner of your garden. A milkweed plant will be like your sacrificial plant. All the aphids and the things like that will go to the milkweed plant before they go to anything else.
Got you. You know anything about sweetgrass?
As to it's being fucking annoying and spreading everywhere.
Yeah.
I haven't studied much about lemongrass or what would you say? What kind of grass?
The sweetgrass.
Sweetgrass.
Yeah.
That's the ornamental grass, right?
I believe that was the one that the Native Americans used to bless their homes and stuff. But I believe it had beneficial properties to your gardens too. I just can't really put my finger on it yet.
I'm sure it's packed with nitrogen.
Yeah, my mom grows that too. She grows a lot of those ornamental, I guess, grasses that you ain't gonna have in your lawn.
Yeah, no, they spread like fire.
Yeah, right. Oh yeah, Aaron, I had to do that with my tomatoes this year, man. I let it go away. I just let it get out of hand. I was too worried about the cannabis plants. Ended up having to spend hours and hours out there in the heat.
Another good companion plant is what's up, Adam? Is clover.
Clover, yeah.
clover,
Hey, you know,
peas.
clover's beneficial to you as well.
Hmm. I mean, it releases a lot of nitrogen without dying back into the soil. A lot of plants, they need to die and decompose to
Right.
release that nitrogen. But there's also companion plants like clover that put nitrogen back into the soil.
Yeah, I was reading about beans being really high in nitrogen for your soil too.
Yeah.
And I have those big bean plants this year, so they're getting tilled up right into the soil. Bet. What's up, Adam? Do y'all have any more points? Did I miss something? Did I not come back to something, guys? Just remind me again if I said I'll get back to you and didn't. Pretty sure I got everybody though.
Now, I was doing some research on what is it? I'm not sure if my one bed of tomatoes, because it just caught it now, but I'm not sure if they look like rust stains. It could be one of two things. It could either be tomato blight,
Right, yeah.
or it could be from me smoking cigarettes.
Really?
Because tomato plants, there's, depending on the tobacco, it's like it's almost like an herbicide
Really?
that's on the tobacco. Like I remember when I was working on that farm, it was an organic farm,
Uh-huh.
and if you smoke cigarettes, they wouldn't allow you in the high tunnel. If you smoked a cigarette before washing your hands,
Wow.
you know, like I guess there's some type of chemical that's in tobacco that fucks tomato plants up.
I had no idea.
So I mean, I do smoke cigarettes, and I was in my garden smoking cigarettes, so that could have been the cause.
Right. You
But
had
it's
a hell
also
of a year though, so I wouldn't say it was. I mean, it couldn't have been much of whatever was going on because your plants went ham this year.
Oh yeah, it was at the very end, and it was only one of my beds that it did it at. I mean, I was preemptive. Whenever you see if it was tomato blight, the precaution that you want to take is same thing as like when it comes to cannabis too, like any type of infection, is you want to use clean shears, and you want to either bag up all the trim or you want to burn it. I'd personally, me personally, I bag it up and fucking throw it out because I don't want to burn it and then have that shit go up in the air.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got you, man.
But it's all a learning curve. Same thing as, I mean, if you can grow a tomato plant, you can grow a fucking cannabis plant.
I agree. That's exactly how I started. I've been growing tomatoes like my whole life. I mean, just one little tomato plant at a time, but always loved my tomatoes. And it just kind of transferred over. You know, it's really weird, but it did. Like,
yeah, I did want to go to CannaCon in Detroit this year. I just financially can't do it this year.
Yeah, it sucks, man.
We will be doing another one or two next year, definitely.
Sweet.
Just stay tuned for those. Not sure where at though. I'd like to go to the Long Beach one.
Yeah, I ain't going back to Long Beach, man. I promised myself I'll never go back to California, ever. No need, brother.
Tomato plant variety that grows well indoors. The thing about indoors and the thing about tomato plants is they have the male flowers and the female flowers in the same cluster. So with that being said, they're usually pretty easy to self-pollinate. However, if you're indoors, that means you have no bugs. So if you're gonna be doing and pink waving, what the fuck? If you're gonna be doing it indoors, you're gonna have to do pretty much artificial insemination. Say with like a cotton ball or a Q-tip, and you rub the inside of the male pistil, and then use the Q-tip to rub into the female flower to be able to do it. Or if you have sufficient airflow, that should be enough to be able to self-pollinate. Because if they don't pollinate, how you know if a tomato plant pollinates is it doesn't fall off. If the blossom falls off, that means it wasn't properly pollinated.
This is my tomato bonsai. It's not so bonsai, is it? But it does have a flower, and
I see it.
I'm gonna self pollinate it. I'm hoping for the best, but it's all good.
You've had that in your tent the whole time?
Yeah, yeah, and it's a little teeny bonsai thing, but yeah, this thing just goes stupid. I don't know that it's meant to do it, but we'll see what happens.
I mean, their root systems, just like any plant, bases off their environment. You know, so you probably won't get too many flower sites with how much soil that you have.
Right.
That's kind of the experiment I did with some of the Brandywine tomatoes that I germinated. Was
Right.
I put them all in different size pots to see the production of each pot would make.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, the bigger pot, most production. Smaller pot, you got the least production. But
One thing I noticed though is this thing goes through the water so damn fast. It's like twice a day you got to water it.
Yeah,
It's really
sounds about
crazy.
right.
She's absolutely out of. I got to take a couple of leaves off, and she looks like she's dry at the moment. But yeah, anyway, that's the plant.
For intermediate or determinate plants, when it comes to tomatoes, if you're growing indoors, I would do a determinate. Me personally, and that's because it's going to drop all the fruit at once. Because if you do right there, tongue twister. if you do the other one, it's going to just keep fucking growing like that 13-foot plant that I have in my backyard right now. And if you're growing indoors, it's not going to work. It's going to just keep.
That might be my problem. I took a cutting off outdoors, just a little teeny growth, little sucker that came out and planted it. So it's probably going to just keep fucking growing.
Just like that, the yellow Brandywine one, the little hourglass shaped ones.
Uh-huh.
I mean that's it's one that it's one that just keeps fucking going.
Indeterminate.
I mean, one way that you can do it too is the same thing as canna plants. You just top it if you want to control the height, or you want to control how much it's spreading out. You just pull the suckers. I mean, it's really based off of what you're looking for.
Okay, might have to. I don't know if she's gonna last much longer, but just wanted to get her in the pot and try it, see what happened. It's fun to do. I don't know. I don't mind messing around like that.
The thing about gardening in general, there's never any mistakes. All just lessons.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I had a very successful garden, but there's also quite a few failures too. You know, the potatoes, that was a failure.
Yeah.
Now I know because it was holding too much moisture in that tower. So now I know for next year.
How are you going to fix it? Better soil?
I mean, you can't really get much better soil than that. The issue was drainage. Definitely drilling holes in all the boards, so there's plenty of drainage. Because I noticed like halfway in the tower, because the tower is about 5 feet tall, so like in the middle of the tower, that's where it was retaining too much moisture.
Gotcha.
Like the potatoes were all mushy and shit. It's like damn.
What about chicken wire? It'll hold the soil. It'll hold it in. It's got to pack it in right.
Yeah, you just got to use real fucking thin or real small chicken wire.
Yeah, that 1/4 inch. Yeah, that'd work. A little 1/4 inch, it'll work. Hell, I got some of that. I can make a few little piles of that. I was thinking for aeration, let the outside of that soil will help drain the water or evaporate the water.
I mean, it could have been also too that I used vermiculite.
Okay.
And vermiculite retains moisture.
Oh, okay.
See, a lot of people think that the perlite is good for aeration or good for moisture control, but that's for aeration.
Yeah.
If you want to be able to retain more moisture in the soil, vermiculite's your best friend.
Vermiculite, okay. And I also heard with the perlite, and I assume vermiculite too, but it was real porous, and so all the microbiomes and stuff could like almost live in there. They kind of had like shelter, if you will.
Yeah, I mean, especially if you're doing raised beds or you're doing planters, I wouldn't really recommend it if you're using pots, depending on the type of whatever the fuck you're growing, because everything has its own medians that it prefers.
Right.
What was another fail that I did? The potatoes was a fail, but it was still a lesson. Oh, I'll never do 3 rows in a raised bed again.
Too much.
No, what I noticed was the ones that were in the middle suffered. You know, like they still produced, but they didn't produce like the outside tomato plants. So I think it was just too close together.
Think it wasn't enough light in the center?
That's what I'm thinking. The canopy was too thick.
Makes sense. Interesting.
What?
I know my I think that was the problem with my bell peppers, my pepper plants.
Okay.
They were behind my big cannabis plants, and so they didn't get. And then as the sun goes, it kind of curved. Well, all my tomato plants were all in this fence. My cannabis plants covered them that way. They didn't get all their good sun, so they didn't develop anything. Well, they did, but it wasn't much. But
I mean, I would like to put in like a 10-foot trellis system.
I think you can feel it. Yeah.
I mean, I like using a trellis idea with the runners and shit.
Yeah.
You're going around and seeing everybody's gardens. You see their tomato cages; they're all fucking falling over.
Yeah, they usually do. They usually do. Like if it wasn't for that fence that was all around it, I wouldn't have had anywhere to tie it off to.
They use cages too.
Yeah, I used them to begin with, just to keep them while they were young. And then after that, I started tying them to the fence, and they just grew way up over it. Well, you've seen it a few times. But
yeah, Cruz cracks me up. He's like, "There's no mistakes," like Bob Ross would say. Yeah, if no one knows who Bob Ross is, you're living under a rock. Happy little trees.
Happy little trees, baby. Woo. I hear he has a son that's kicking it now with it, doing exactly what he did.
Yeah, I mean, his son would come on to some of his shows too.
Yeah, I hear.
But he's still alive.
Yeah.
I heard there's this video. I need to find it with all of Bob Ross's paintings.
Yes.
And the cool part is literally if you put all the paintings together, it's like a movie, and it's like walking through the forest.
Yep. That's awesome, man. I saw that video. I saw it. I know exactly what you're talking about, and I was blown away because I've watched him individually paint a picture with no other pictures around. And you're telling me they all line up? That's amazing.
Yep. Apparently they all line up.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the video yet. I really want to see it. If you can find that video, make sure you post the link up in the group.
It was on TikTok. I'll try to find that again, man. It was a while back though, but I remember it because it really hit home.
Yeah, you could definitely scrog a tomato plant.
See it.
Whether you have like 30 feet to scrog,
Right.
you're like, I was thinking of planting that berry wine tomato plant again and running it along the fence.
Yeah, that runner would probably do great, dude.
Dude, I mean that those things fucking want to keep growing, and I topped them all, and it just kept fucking growing.
What if you kind of came up, ran along, and then came down so it could root again and then keep growing up?
I mean, you potentially could do it with that variety.
Yeah,
I mean, there's branch. Huh?
After 13 feet, the top ones are going to be a little bit smaller than normal, right? Wouldn't you think?
No.
No,
honestly,
you haven't noticed anything.
No,
different?
They're all the same fucking size, man. I don't know how the hell I'm going to harvest them.
Be careful on that ladder, my man. Shoot.
Dude, all I got is a chair, man. You got a chair out there.
Shoot, you might have to just make a cut and collect the last bit you can. Or get your boy over there with his tractor. Get up there that way.
Sit in the bucket and have him raise it up.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Either that or fucking hold Lily up, put Lily up on my shoulders and have her pick them.
There you go. Hell yeah. Thank you, Nikki. Appreciate you. Nikki said she sent that.
Awesome. Appreciate it.
Hell yeah. It was a really good one, man. And like I said, I was blown away.
He was an excellent painter, man.
Yeah, man. And he was just so calm and peaceful. It was like Mr. Rogers, but even more so, you know?
You know, he always made me think he was a serial killer.
You know, right?
I'm going to keep it 100, man. I always thought he was a serial killer.
What's he hiding, man? He's got some bombs he's sitting on.
He's got to beat the devil out of it sometimes.
Oh, man. Hey, y'all got any questions, man? Any questions for us? Any
Yeah, I've been busy at doctor's appointments all day now. I will be getting that other waffle up tomorrow. This week is going to be slammed with doctor's appointments.
Man.
But
sucks, man.
I mean, it's appointments for me and wifey. So today when I brought her to her doctor's appointment, apparently they, instead of doing an ultrasound to find out the sex, apparently they can find out through blood work.
Really?
So we'll know the sex in 2 weeks.
Oh shit! All right, man.
But
Cool.
we don't want to know. We want to do a Halloween gender reveal.
There you go. Cool, man. That'd be what's up.
So let's see if our oldest daughter can hold the secret until then.
I hope so. That's great. Cool, man. I'll be tuning in.
Oh yeah, we're trying to figure out how we want to do it. We never did one before, so I think it'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, I've never done one, man. We just always went with it, man.
Yeah, wifey's adamant she wants to do it this year.
I would, dude. I mean, they're big and they're kind of cool to watch too, man.
I seen a couple.
Balloons go.
What happened?
I saw one video. A guy let the balloon go on accident, and the wife was like all mad at him. So no gender reveal.
Eventually, it'll pop. Pull out the binoculars.
Right. Yeah, BB gun.
Oh yeah, I got the pellet gun. We'll take care of that.
Hell yeah. What's up, TJ? No worries, my man. We were just shooting the shit, talking a little bit of shop.
Year 5, when what happened? The Cold War?
Right.
The Cold War was what, in the 80s?
I don't freaking know, man. I don't know my history like that, bro. That just sounded old. The Cold War.
You didn't have ultrasounds when you were born?
Gotcha.
You ain't that fucking old, Nikki.
TJ, we talked a little bit about soil temperatures. We talked a little bit about beneficial bugs and plants for your garden and for your grow. We talked about a few books that you could get to help yourself out. What else did we talk about, guys? I don't know, a little bit of everything, TJ. That's it, man. Just a little bit of everything. You got anything you want to talk about, TJ? Got a cool trick or tip? I got tongue twisted on that one. You got me tripped out, David. You got any little tips or tricks you want to share, man?
You know, one of the things that we were getting a little bit into the microbes.
Yeah, barely. Not much, man. We got to bring you on. We can talk about it. I know you know more than I do.
I mean, when it comes to microbes, you can buy soil that's already pre-charged, or you can charge the soil yourself. One of the easiest ways to inoculate your soil with microbes is through using Dino-Myco.
Yeah.
Dino-Myco will establish microbe colonies within your soil. And how you feed that soil is either using molasses or things like fish shit, which is a soil conditioner.
Oh, that's right. That's what he was mentioning in the book, Teaming with Microbes. My bad, man. I was just thinking about microbes itself, not the book.
Oh.
He's talking about the book, folks. But I forgot about it, man. But yeah, I'm still a little bit stoned.
It's all right.
But yeah, I hear that's a really good book. I should be getting that'll probably be my next one. This is the one that I had gotten recently. This is my newest book. It's a really good one too. Talks all about the living soils and how to make it and all the amendments and what they do. What's up, Maxwell? Welcome. What else, guys? Anything?
I think they're just listening to us bullshit.
Yeah, we just bullshitting, man. It's all good.
Yeah.
But yeah, so today I watered. That's about it for my plants. Got you, man.
Now, I see one of the comments that Jeremy put about heavy defoliation.
Yeah.
There's thousands of ways to grow. Now, I've heard individuals say that 21 days before you flip, you can heavy defoliate, and 21 days after you flip, you can defoliate heavy. I personally did it once just to try it. I did it 21 days after flip, and I had horrible fucking results, and ended up harming the plant. So I would never recommend to do heavy defoliation unless necessary. Like, say if you had a fungus or something along that nature.
Right.
However, whenever you're growing, you want to try to keep it as natural as possible. So picture like a rabbit or a fucking squirrel jumps by your plant, eats a couple of leaves off, then jumps away.
Right.
You have to think of trimming your plant just like that, so there's no shock. Temperatures of water. Did you get into that? Like when you're feeding?
Yeah, I did talk about it a little bit. I was saying that my water generally stays right around 70. It has gotten a little cooler. I haven't noticed any problems because I haven't had big fluctuations. I don't put freezing water into my plants or boiling water into them at all. It's just normal temperatures.
I mean, that's also going into the experimenting as well.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, that's where the term bro science comes in. Not all of it's necessarily bro science, in my opinion, you know, because every strain has its own varieties. That's why they call them phenos. So, I mean, say if you have 5 purple punch seeds,
right,
3 of them turn purple and 2 of them don't. That's usually a pheno, you know?
Yep.
But certain phenos, you can also pull colors out by dropping temperatures, or you give them an ice bath before you harvest, things along that nature. There's nothing really in proven documents that states that actually does happen. But I've experienced it personally, and I've seen other people experience it personally. But then again, that's the beautiful part about growing, because there's 1,000 ways to grow.
That's right.
And for any new grower that's currently watching, I'd always recommend to get advice from multiple growers that you can see that are doing well. Find the similarities and then develop your own methods. That's my best suggestion.
Hey, Chris, that book was called Teaming with Microbes. TJ, I think it was TJ, right? Yeah, TJ mentioned it. It's up in the comments, all right? If you wanted to get that book.
I like Jeremy's angle. He's like, aliens, skinwalkers, Bigfoot, let's get weird. I love it. Yeah, speaking of aliens, do you guys see that fucking that episode or that clip from Mexico?
Uh-uh.
Like they literally came out with like X-rays and like MRIs of this supposed alien. Like you see organs, you see the skeleton inside of it. It's pretty fucking trippy. Like, but see, this world is so fucking crazy right now
Yeah.
that like they're like, hey, we're confirming aliens. Okay,
Yeah.
where the fuck's my rebate check? Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know what I
Bad
mean?
timing, dude. Yeah.
But no, that's why we all just gotta pull together.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Aaron mentioned they had a little mummy skeleton looking one. It looked like a piece of rock.
yeah, it looked like petrified, like all fucking like.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, man. Either way, okay. So we have aliens, man. I'd like to meet
Yeah.
one. I'd like to have one as a friend. That'd be slick.
Bro, imagine what they could teach us.
Dude, bring me some of your seeds, homie.
Facts, bro. They're probably
Yeah.
millennia ahead of us.
Yeah.
You smoke that shit and it works for a week.
Oh, yeah.
That'd
Like,
be awesome.
yeah, seriously, Chris, I wouldn't be surprised either, man.
Nah, there has to be, bro. Like, I mean, not for nothing. I've seen some fucking sketchy shit in the sky in the middle of the night,
Yeah.
and I wasn't the only one that's seen it. So,
That's the important thing, dude. That's the important part. Take a picture.
dude, it's always like that. Shit's always like as soon as you take a picture, it's like, doop, it's gone.
Right. Yeah, man.
Fuck Chris,
man,
I want Yoda as my bro.
Hell yeah.
This is
I
the
would
way.
absolutely love that. That'd be cool, man.
I don't know. I heard that they're doing some experiments on the moon. I guess it's for also Mars too, like that Mars trip. How they want to build a colony, but cannabis plants in general produce way more oxygen than almost any other fucking plant.
I heard
Way
that.
more than way fast. They grow way faster and they produce more oxygen than regular trees do.
Huh. Wow. TJ, man, I don't know. I don't know, bro. A whole bunch of questions being thrown out in these last few years, huh?
I mean, dude, if you want to jump down that rabbit hole, man,
Yeah, I can't.
that's a rabbit hole and a half, dude.
Hell no. That dude, I need a nice joint in my hand to be going over that kind of stuff, man.
You know, that was one nice part about the Army, though, is when I was at Leonard Wood, they had so many different services you can go to.
Right.
Like I checked out the Buddhists, I checked out the monks, I checked out Judaism, I checked out Christianity, Catholicism. I checked out all of them, and the similarities within the stories is so crazy. You know, just different names.
Yep.
I got kicked out of the Buddhist one.
Did you?
Yeah,
Amazing.
I fell asleep and I started snoring.
Oh man.
Yeah, then they got really mad. I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm tired.
Yeah.
You know, I was relaxed and I fell asleep. I'm sorry.
Yeah. My bad. Damn. That I've never done. I've never fallen asleep in church. I grew
Dude,
up
I was
going to
tired,
church.
man. That was after a long ass fucking week.
Right.
I felt bad as shit, but like I couldn't help it. I'm just tired. That's why I'm
Yeah.
always moving now. If I sit down too long, I end up falling asleep if I'm not talking to somebody.
Right. Got you.
Shit, fucking Scott can contest to that. When I went out to our O camp last year,
Yeah.
we're sitting there watching a movie, and he's sitting there talking to me, and I'm like, like, no, I'm tired of shit.
Yeah. My son, he does that too. If nobody's talking, we're just sitting there chilling. He's out every time. And you'd be like, hey, he'd be like, what? Well, you sleeping? No, I wasn't sleeping. Yeah, you were, punk. Don't lie.
It
Lie.
was the idle button.
Yeah, you just hitting idle. Yeah. But well, shoot. If y'all are good, man, my throat hurts, man. I think I'm getting a sore throat. You guys noticed I was drinking some tea, right? What's that? Yeah, no, did you see that? Yeah, he must have been getting after it now for them to kick him out. I thought they were pretty easygoing people. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and call it up, man. Dave, thanks for showing up, man. I appreciate you.
Not a problem, brother.
Giving everybody somebody to listen to. But hey,
Yes,
guys, thanks for showing up, man. Thanks for asking some questions. If you have more, man, just keep them. All right, write them down, man. Post them, message me, whichever. Okay, that's what I'm here for. Yeah, it might be allergies, man. It might be, Nikki. I don't know, but
it's that time of year.
Yeah, that ragweed. I was just about to go collect up some of the little seeds and try to help myself, but screw it. I'll just suffer. But anyway, all right, guys. So until next time, y'all. Happy growing. Let me see if I can find this shit. Nope, sure can't. There it is. All right, later, y'all.